done so much stunt work and so much action, is there off the top of your head one sequence or one stunt you were asked to do that's like the most ridiculous, or the one that really made you laugh?
Yeah, well, the thing is, they don't ask you to do the stunts. I ask to do the stunts.
Of course.
That's the stupid thing. I am living, barely walking testimony to the fact that you should always say no to the actors when they ask, because I'm carrying so many lifelong injuries that I should never have been allowed to do the things that I did. In this film, I'm running away from lava and fireballs and stuff. And there might not be an exploding volcano, but there was a lot of fire on the set. And a lot of smoke and ash and boulders, and not real boulders, but, stuff flying at you, and a lot of very hot things blowing up around me. And I don't speak Mandarin. So when they're all screaming, watch out on your left, it's going on your right, but I don't know what they're talking about. So, and also I quite liked the chaos of trusting that they weren't going to blow me up. So dodging things when they appeared. But for a lot of it, as you'll know if you've seen it, I have a little 7-year-old girl in my arms at the end. And she had not volunteered to be running through walls of flame and dropped in piles of burning ash and stuff. So I felt very protective of her, but also wanted to get as close to the flame as possible so that it looked real and scary. And I got badly burnt and singed everywhere in places I should never have been. And, I had to peel the clothes off me with a spatula at the end of the day. And apart from which, the smoke in the air, there's so much smoke, and they use little bits of black paper in the air and white paper in the air that would be emerging from orifices weeks after shooting, and certainly all the way through the night, sneezing out of the nicest place it came out of was my nose. Is there a stunt that's silly? They're all silly. I shouldn't have been allowed to do any of them. I've been hit by a car. The thing, stuntmen do things safely. Actors, not only do they not have the physical skill often of stuntmen, they don't do it safe. We want to get a bit closer to the exploding thing. We want to fall further down the hill. We don't want to look like we're on a wire. I smashed my shins on a Gideon Raft series I did, because the stuntman was very wisely keeping his shins off a ladder. He was jumping across 100 foot. He was on a wire. It kept his feet up in the air, so it looked like he had superpowers. I went, it looks like his legs aren't anything. Gideon goes, well, that's what they tell me is safe. I said, I'll do it. He said, are you sure you want to do it? And the stunt guy said, he can't do it. He'll hurt his legs. I went, I won't hurt my legs, but I'm not going to do that. I did it. I nearly broke both of my legs, obviously. In fact, there was a scene in Brotherhood. I don't know how long you got here, but there's a scene in Brotherhood where I meant to, two groups of gangsters are playing softball with each other, because that happens. Anyway, and I'm meant to be, I hit the ball and I run to first base and I'm going to be tripped. And so I get up and I punch the guy who's tripped me, and I get hit in the back with a bat and I punch him, and there's a melee and we end up on the floor. And I get there, and as always, I see someone dressed exactly like me, the stunt double, and they go, his Terry's your stunt double. I go, it's a trip. I can do a trip. It's not a big deal. The stunt guy goes, you sure? The ground's very hard. And I go, oh yeah. Oh, so it is. It's like concrete, the ground. I go, I'll be all right. I'll put a pad on or something. And the director goes, that's great, because then we can shoot your face. We don't have to cut around you. I go, okay, good. And so they all set it all up, and I walk through. As you know, on filming, you have to hit specific marks. So it's in focus. It's no good if you're out of focus. So they get all the marks. I walk through and they go, okay, we're about to do the take, at which point I'm going to sprint, which I've never done before. And the director leans over and he goes, you're not going to do one of those stunt rolls, are you? And I went, what? He goes, we're not going to trip like a stuntman and like roll. And I went, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking I'd do. He goes, oh man, don't do that. It's got to look awkward. I went, yeah. He goes, you got pads on? I go, I've got elbow pads and knee pads. But, he goes, yeah, just fall like someone's been tripped. I went, okay. And the stunt guy goes, you call, Jason? You're good with this? You feel safe? And I went, And they go, action. And I sprint, and someone trips me, and I go right up in the air, and I land right on my head and my shoulder where I don't have any pads. And I can feel this searing pain in my body. I stand up. I can't throw a left hook like I meant to because my arm doesn't work. I throw a right hook instead. The stunt guy's good. He takes it, and we do this big fight and melee, and we lie on the ground, and they go, cut. And I stand up and I go, camera 1, did you get it? He said, yeah. And I go, camera 2, you in focus? Yeah. Camera 3, you good? He goes, yeah. And I went, somebody call an ambulance right now. I go straight to hospital. They didn't even use the take, obviously.
Oh, no.
So I could fill your entire memory card with stories like that. I got one more if you got time.
Yes.
Harry Potter. Chamber of Secrets. I come out of Dumbledore's office at the end. It's only my second day's work, I think. And I, I've given Dobby a sock, and so he's a free elf. And I take my wand out, and Dobby blasts me across the thing. And it's what they call a pull, a wire and they pull you and you land on a mattress. I go, I'll do that. They go, no, we've got a stunt guy. It's fine. I go, I can do it. It's fine. I've done it before in other films. I go, we've got a big stunt team. It's fine. We've got the wig. We'll cut you. All right. So they do it with the stunt guy. And I only have to do the last little bit where my head hits the ground. So you see my eyes open, stunned. And they built rubber flooring so that it's on rubber. And I'm only moving my head this much. But I'm embarrassed I didn't get to do the stunt. So I put a bit too much effort in and knocked myself out.
On a rubber floor.
Yeah, on a rubber. Boom! Headbutted the floor as hard as I could, slightly stunned for a minute.
I feel like when you're doing when you're playing a character like Malfoy, where you have like a very, I'm assuming you were wearing a wig for that.
Yes, yes, I was wearing a wig.
You had like a wig.
I couldn't grow my hair down to my waist every 2 years. Yes, that's right.
But you have the wig, you have like a pretty elaborate costume. It feels like it should be easier to let the stunt guy take over just because the look is already so clear.
Yeah. No, it's just fun. Look, I do this job. I feel very terrible when I speak to my relatives and friends, and certainly during the last 9 months when I've been lucky enough to work with various charities. I'm speaking to lots of people who are making a huge difference out in the world, working in the health sector or working with refugees or working with homeless people. I get to do this insanely childish, self-indulgent thing of putting on costumes and makeup and running around, pretending to be other people, having vicarious emotions. It's absurd that I get to do this child's play thing and get rewarded for it and get social status I don't deserve from it at all. But I get to do this fun thing. And one of the fun things you can do at work is jump around and fire guns and jump down holes and, fall into a river and all the kind of fun things, in a safe environment. I've been to war lots of times with no real bullets. It is, I hate the fact that other people don't enjoy their job as much and do much more worthwhile things. I'm ashamed of it, but I get to do a very fun thing. And one of the funnest things is stunts.